Today's horror manga dubbing narration is Dissolving Apartment by Junji Ito. I would like to take this time to give a very special thanks to ChavelliVA for agreeing to collaborate with this video. Check her out in the description below as well as pinned in the top comment. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the Dissolving Apartment. I hope you all enjoy. Our story begins with a middle-aged couple knocking on apartment unit 102.
Who is it?
We're your new neighbor. We just moved into 202 and we thought of saying hi. Pardon us.
Alright, I'm coming.
But when she opened the door, there was something unusual about the couple. Their skin was pale, as if they were undead, and their eyes sunken. We are the Azeri. Here's a small gift.
Thanks.
She watched them stagger away as she returned back to her apartment unit and opened up the gift.
Are these mochi?
Seeing that it appeared to be mochi, she grabbed one between her thumb and index finger, placing it inside her mouth and eating.
It tastes funny.
Later that night,
Ugh. Gah! Damn it, it must be something in those mochi. What should I do? Should I call the ambulance?
but then, all of a sudden, she heard some noises from above. I'm sorry. The next day, she decided to stop by her neighbor's units and knock on the doors. She was greeted by an old lady.
Pardon me, I'm Kahara from Unit 102, beside you.
Yes.
I'd like to know, have the residents from Level 2 Unit 202 dropped by your place?
Yes. They gave me some mochi, but I had non-stop diarrhea just from one bite of it.
You too? I knew it!
Y'all did. I'm Arashiyama from Unit 201. I had such a severe case of diarrhea. Plus, yesterday's noise. They must be abusing their kids. We can't just sit around and do nothing. And so, the group of them journeyed up to Unit 202, ringing the doorbell and waiting until the door slowly opened and a child awaited them. She had bandages all over her face.
Your face!
Little girl, are your daddy and mummy home?
She paused for a moment, and then she spoke.
They are not here. They died when I was still an infant.
They couldn't believe what they were hearing and discussed among one another.
Honestly, this child, she must have had a hard time.
We know your parents are still alive, little girl. If they are not home, when will they be back?
I already said that my parents are dead. Go kill yourselves and meet them in the underworld if you really want to see them.
What?
What's your name, little girl?
Do you have a brother in middle school or high school?
My name is Chizumi. I have a rotten brother called Yuma.
If there's anything troubling you, you can always find this big sister here, Chizumi.
Alright, got it, Hag.
She couldn't believe the rude words of that young girl as she returned back to her apartment, slamming the door behind her.
Weird kid.
Later that day, while she was enjoying some leisure time, she couldn't help but notice something from the window. But what was it? It was dangling down. As she took a closer look, she noticed it was a severed head. Tears were streaming down it as she screamed in horror. The head began to sway back and forth, and then it began to speak.
I am Chizumi's mommy. I am Chizumi's mommy.
She was lost for words. She quickly ran outside of her unit and looked above, and what she saw was Chizumi, dangling the head from a string. She called out to her,
Hey, what are you doing?
but the child began to laugh, saying,
Nice to meet you, old hag.
and then she was gone.
What is with her? Truly, like parents, like child.
But she was soon interrupted by a knock at the door.
Who is it?
Pardon me, I'm Azeri from Unit 202. I'm here to apologize. She stopped for a moment, and ever so slowly opened the door to see a young man with bruises littered all over his body. I heard that my sister did something completely unruly, and the gifts that my parents bought caused you all to be sick. I'm truly, absolutely sorry about that.
Please lift your head up. I'll forgive the matter with your sister. More importantly, are your parents abusing the two of you? Look at the injuries on your face.
No, it's all my fault. I'll get going. He simply walked away and up the staircase toward his unit.
I was shocked too. He also came by my house to apologize. Who knew that their son was so polite?
Yuma, why did you go to everyone in the apartment? What rubbish did you tell them? Did you go and tattle on us? You must have. You vile and despicable child!
It's not like that. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry.
The residents of the apartment began opening their doors in worry.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Excuse me, sir. We have to speak to you. Please, open the door. And so, the door slowly opened, and the couple from earlier emerged. This time, the woman spoke. What's the matter? There's a lot of noise coming from your unit. Your children are crying beyond normal.
So what? Are you accusing us of abusing our kids?
It would seem so. Their faces are even covered in band-aids. Quit interfering with the way we discipline our kids, you outsiders.
Excuse me? You say you're disciplining your kids, but can they really grow up well in this environment? I'm very concerned seeing how the two children are.
That's none of your damn business. There's surely something wrong with those parents.
I agree. I'm so worried about their children's future.
Frankly, I don't really want to bother with them, but I can't bear to do so because of the poor boy.
The little girl is probably supposed to be well-mannered too.
Speak of the devil.
The little girl loomed above them, and the old lady said,
Would you like to come to Auntie's house, Chizumi? I have some delicious cake for you.
In the end, Chizumi agreed, and the group of them began to eat amongst one another.
Do pardon me for imposing as well.
Not at all, Kahara. We're all neighbors, so let's all get along well.
Chizumi began devouring the cake.
Oh my, you must have been starving.
Is it tasty, Chizumi? Hey, do your parents always flare their tempers?
Look at your face. It must be painful. Your band-aids look old. If you don't change them, it could lead to infection. Let me get you new ones. My face is not hurt. I'm just posing for fun.
Huh?
Look at this. Oh my, so you're not being abused?
Are they only hurting your brother?
My brother is a masochist.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
You unfilial son. Your old man is gonna teach you a lesson.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm Arashiyama from next door. Pipe down. Do you know that you're bothering your neighbors? The two of them had menacing glares on their face. You, what's with that face? You wanna fight? Arashiyama, do you want to go with us to hell? What are you saying? In that instance, a strange goo came from their eyes. It was as if their flesh was beginning to melt from their face. I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry. Please, forgive us. Please, I beg you. I beg you. I beg you. Please. This kid. Please, I beg you. Please forgive us. Quit it. Please, please forgive me. You rascal. Are you kidding me? The two of them ran up as fast as they could. But it was too late. Both the parents and now this man were beating upon the poor boy.
Stop it! How can a group of adults gang up against a child?
Even Arashiyama, what is going on?
It's all my fault. And so, Arashiyama ran as fast as he could, running into his own unit and slamming the door behind him. But little did they know, those parents' faces were still melting, that strange ooze dripping down. Soon, they too ran into their unit, slamming the door behind them.
Are you alright, Yuma?
Come over to my house. I'll treat those wounds.
She began to treat the wounds and then she said,
So, poor thing. Why don't the two of you just stay over at my place? I don't mind staying here if I can have delicious cake every day. Of course, that's not an issue, dear. If your parents come and take both of you, you just need to call the police. Do you get it, Yuma?
I'm sorry, but I better get back, because I love my parents. Thank you for all the care you've given. I'm truly sorry. Later that night...
You clumsy thing! Go to hell!
Dad, I'm sorry.
Go and die! Kill yourself!
Mom, I'm sorry.
How vicious. So cruel.
Should we call the police?
Yeah.
She placed her hand on her cheek, wiping away whatever that strange goo was. Then, she looked up.
What's wrong?
The ceiling.
The roof of her apartment was completely stained. Some sort of strange goo was dripping down everywhere.
How troublesome. The water has leaked from Arashiyama's unit.
But it kinda stinks. And it's sticky.
He has dissolved. The mustache uncle has finally dissolved. It's all my brother's fault.
Worrying about Arashiyama, the two of them walked up the stairwell and called for his name.
Arashi, Yama-san! Arashi! Yama-san!
Told ya, it's no use.
Yuma, go and die.
I'm sorry, Dad.
That's right. Let's just kill this repulsive brat.
I'm sorry, Mom.
The two of them opened the door as fast as they could, storming inside. I'm sorry.
Yuma!
But what they saw was a sight to behold. It was true. The parents were dissolving. Goo not just dripping down their eyes now, but their entire bodies, melting like they were wax figurines on a scorching warm day. The woman held a knife in her hand as she slowly melt toward the floor into nothingness. The goo spread it everywhere about the room, consuming Yuma, almost consuming him whole. And then, as the two of them let out a scream, from behind was Chizumi.
There's a demon behind my brother. You'll never have a good end after associating with him. Daddy and Mummy died early, yet he had summoned them back here from hell countless times, only to dissolve back shortly after, and the cycle repeats again. My daddy and Mummy are so pitiful. Oh no, even the aunties.
In an unbelievable turn of events, both of them began to melt, thaw, and resolve themselves into a dew, as Yuma say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's about time we move, eh?
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'd like to take this time to give a very special thanks to my Patreons and YouTube members. Sarah de Jesus, Moto Surf, Cleo, Dason Animus, Ali Wei, Pteranodon Girl 1, and Minue. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you're important and you matter. Have a good night, everyone. Goodbye.